Hi friends, Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and my friend Kel and I are here today to talk to you about a couple brand new books that we are so excited about because we loved them so much. They were amazing and fantastic, and well, let me just tell you about them. So, the first one is called Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. Amari and the Night Brothers. First of all, look at this cover. Is this cover not just so cool? You just are dying to know what is going on in this picture, aren't you? I was too, and that's why I checked it out. So this is a story about a girl named Amari who is having some trouble in school because she's sticking up for herself because these bullies keep picking on her. And the reason they keep picking on her is because her brother has disappeared almost a year ago, and he's gone. Nobody knows where he is. A lot of people think he's dead. But Amari doesn't. She knows he's alive and she knows he's out there somewhere and probably needs her help. So these kids are picking on her saying, your brother's gone, and she's sticking up for herself. Well, she's having a hard time. Nobody understands her. And then she finds this ticking briefcase that when she opens it up, there is a hologram of her brother Quentin. And apparently, he was working for something called the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. And this was a job where he protected the world and kept things hidden about all the different supernatural and magical creatures there are out there. Because the regular world can't know about it, right? It's kind of like Harry Potter in that respect. So, her brother actually worked for this amazing organization, and he had nominated her for a position for a summer tryout in the organization. All she has to do is go and compete with all these other kids. All these other kids that have been training their whole lives for this. What could go wrong, right? Whew. So now Amari has all these other things to figure out, on top of now trying to figure out where her brother is. Now that she knows that he was working for the secret organization, she knows he's out there. She has to try to track him down, but also try to win a spot in the summer tryouts, because who wouldn't want to work for the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs? I sure would. Yeah, for sure. So this book is so amazing. It's action-packed. It's exciting. It has a lot of heart. You just really feel for Amari right from the beginning of the story when she's getting picked on by these bullies, and you just want her so much to succeed. You want her to find her brother Quentin, and I can't give anything away about the rest of the story, but you have to read it. It's got lots of magic, it's got adventure, it's got competition, which is super fun. I am always looking for the next great fantasy book, and I think I may have found it with this one because it was just amazing, totally blew me away. Amari and the Night Brothers. First book in the series. Now the next book is actually a book that is a second book in the series, but you don't have to have read the first one to enjoy this one. And this one is called The One and Only Bob by Katherine Applegate. The One and Only Bob. Now the first book in the series was called The One and Only Ivan, and it was about this beautifully gifted young gorilla who loved to paint. This story is about his friend, Bob, who is a little dog, who befriends Bob befriends Ivan when he was living in this cage in the mall. So it's also about their friend Ruby, who is an elephant. So Ivan and Ruby are now in this animal sanctuary. Bob is living with this beautiful family. He's not a stray anymore, and he gets to go and visit the animal zoo sanctuary with his person. Everything is great, right? Except it's not, because unfortunately there is a big hurricane brewing, and it destroys a good part of this animal habitats for these animals. And Bob is there with his person when this hurricane hits unexpectedly, and he's trying to find his way back to his human. He's trying to help all these animals. It is a crazy story, and a lot of beautiful, amazing things happen. A lot of great characters. I'm not going to lie, I probably cried about 90% of the way through this book. Whole thing, just cried because it was such a beautiful story. Had so much love. It's about, of course, a dog and his heroic adventure, but it's also about love. It's about family, and it's also about forgiveness. Forgiveness is such an important aspect of this story because sometimes people aren't the best, right? Sometimes they do things that hurt us, and it's hard sometimes to try to find it in ourselves to forgive them, but we have to, because we can't move forward unless we forgive people, right? So I want to read just one little tiny section of this where Bob is talking to his sister. His sister has had a rough life. All I know is, my sister says, I've done lots of bad stuff in my life, Bob. I've had to forgive myself plenty, just, to get through the day. She gazes at me with her wise and weary eyes. And I figure if I'm going to forgive myself, I better be ready to cut everyone else some slack, too. I'm trying hard to find the forgiveness that seems to come naturally to other dogs. Maybe that's what my sister was getting at. Maybe it's easier to forgive others once you've learned how to forgive yourself. I'm working on it. It's like a bone. Sometimes you have to chew for a long time before you make any progress. See what I mean? It's got so much heart. It's also very funny. Watching Bob and his antics is just absolutely hilarious. And there's scattered throughout the story really cute little pictures. Here's one of Ivan. But mostly there's pictures of Bob and his hilariousness. He's very cute. There he is right there. So this story will make you laugh. It will make you cry. It will make your heart just feel so big with all the feelings. And I absolutely love this book. You do not have to read the first one to love this book. I would recommend it just because it's a really great book also. So if you haven't read The One and Only Ivan, definitely give it a try. But even if you haven't, this one, The One and Only Bob, absolutely wonderful book. Well, that's what we've got for you guys today. I hope they both sound amazing to you and wonderful. If so, please feel free to check them out at the Farmington Community Library. They are at both branches, so feel free to do that. You can pick them up at curbside or actually go into the building and get them as well. Thank you so much, friends, and have a wonderful rest of the day.